Family of 4 lived in that house for 12 years. The Horns. Nice people. Dad taught at the college, coached t-ball. Mom ran the church bake sale. And then, 2 months ago, they all get murdered inside.
4 victims, but technically 3 murders and a suicide.
The father?
Yeah, he didn't do it halfway either. Stabbed his wife 61 times before the blade snapped off the handle.
You're listening to the Fun with Horror podcast with your hosts, Scotty and Andrew.
Hi, Andrew. I'm Scotty.
And hi, Scotty. I'm Andrew.
Welcome to episode number 138 of Fun with Horror. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
You know what? This is the podcast in which 2 long-distance best friends take turns giving each other movies to watch so that they can keep in touch and discuss them and all that good stuff.
That's right. And it was my pick last, and for our Halloween movie, I chose a cute one from 2024 called Longlegs. But we'll get into that in a bit. Of course, stay tuned to the end of this episode where we get to hear what Scotty picks for the next movie.
Oh my God. I totally forgot I'm supposed to pick a movie at the end of this.
Uh-oh.
I'm serious. I have no idea what I'm going to pick.
Oh, man. Well, that makes it even more fun. I'm excited.
It does. Hi, buddy.
Hi, buddy. How are you?
I'm not touching you this time.
That's true. We are now looking at each other through a screen again, so hands to ourselves.
Yeah, I miss you, man. It was so much.
Too.
It was so good having you here.
That was fun. It was a lot of fun. I know. We'll talk more about that at some point.
Yay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah. Maybe for, as we talked about, maybe a Patreon episode talking a little bit about
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, maybe I should...
I was like, oh, no.
No, yeah. We have a lot to discuss, Scotty.
I'm never coming to LA again.
Things are not good. No. No, doing a Patreon just to talk about our trip.
Oh, good.
Could be. Yeah, at some point.
What else is going on?
So my wife and I, a couple years back, enjoyed and played the game Until Dawn.
Yes.
Which is a very fun horror game. A lot of decisions you make in the game. The decisions you make will, affect the outcome. It's very cool. But the company that's made it, I think it's Supermassive something. I probably should have looked it up. I can't remember. But the company that made it has kind of 2 different horror genres or games. One is the Dark Pictures Anthology and then Until Dawn. But the sort of sequel that's not really a sequel, the spiritual sequel, I think they call it, not just came out, but we just bought it, I should say, and that's The Quarry. And so we just started that last night and finished the prologue, and it's a lot of fun. It gave me some good nostalgia from Until Dawn, and there's a nice cameo from someone in the horror industry that's a little bit of fun. I won't say who, but
is it me?
Yeah, it's fun. It is you.
I'm the cameo?
You are. Yeah, did you not?
They totally did that without my permission. That's amazing.
Yeah, I heard that people are putting like those little motion capture balls on people when they sleep and just taking what they want. So
so my eyes are closed the entire time?
They are, and you actually are just your head's kind of tilted the whole time. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Nice. Oh no. That's funny because my good friend Danny in the UK just texted me today, and he also just started playing The Quarry.
Right on. That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Very cool. Yeah. Have you played it?
I have not.
No.
But speaking of sleep,
yeah,
I had the weirdest dream this morning, and it has nothing to do with horror. But I had a dream that I was getting sick. And I was like, it was one of those things. You ever have a dream that's so vivid that you wake up and you wonder if part of it was real?
Yes. Yep.
So I was like coughing and stuff in my dream, and I'm like, oh no, am I getting sick? And I didn't want to. It was like kind of a nightmare because I don't want to get sick. And I woke up and I'm sitting there going, am I getting sick in real life? Is that why I had that dream?
Oh,
so
boy.
I did not mean to even talk about that, but it's just something that happened.
Well, I hope you're not sick.
I saw a couple of movies, buddy.
Ooh, what'd you see? First,
I saw Joker Folie à Deux. I think that's how you pronounce it.
I think, yeah.
And I'm going to say right now, I liked it a lot.
Wow. Okay, you're going against the grain from what I've heard, so...
You know what?
Okay.
I have some theories about how people are going into this movie and why they're not liking it. First of all, I still think people don't understand that this is a musical.
Right, yes.
And also, no offense to anybody, but my honest feeling is that a lot of people just were not paying attention to the first Joker movie.
Oh, okay.
Like Todd Phillips was going against convention when he made that movie. He was purposely kind of giving his finger to people that wanted comic book Joker.
Right.
You know, he was doing his own thing, and he's still doing that, and that's what I expected.
Right.
So anyway, that's all I'm going to say. I enjoyed it more than most people. I'm glad I saw it in a theater.
Good. Okay.
And then I saw a second movie that I really wanted to mention. I finally saw The Last Stop in Yuma County, and I actually own that on Apple. I bought it, but I had not watched it. So I was very happy when they showed it at a screening at the Los Feliz 3. A lot of the cast and crew ended up showing up to the screening.
Oh, cool.
But they had a Q&A with the director, Francis Galuppi, and the star, Jim Cummings.
Oh, cool.
What was even cooler was that the person that was moderating it was Andrew Bowser, who plays Onyx the Fortuitous in the movie Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of something. I can't remember the whole title, but you know, and also Andrew Bowser is like he's kind of popular around here. Like a lot of people around here know him from the horror community because he does a lot of stuff in his character of Onyx, and he's a funny guy. But he was great. I got to meet the director. I got to meet Jim Cummings, and it was just a really cool thing. And it's a really good movie. It's not a horror movie, but if I'm correct, Francis Galuppi is going to be directing one of the next Evil Dead movies.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
So that's awesome. And with what he did with The Last Stop in Yuma County, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does with Evil Dead.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm excited. Well, I'm just excited that we're getting like a couple Evil Dead movies soon. That's exciting.
I can tell you're excited. You know how I can tell?
How?
Because you have long legs. That made no sense.
Nope. I was like, how is this segue going to work?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, where's he going with this? Longlegs. Like, oh, that works.
What's your name, little angel? Nice to meet you, Carrie Ann. Now, I know you're not afraid of a little bit of dark. Because you are the dark.
Longlegs was directed and written by Osgood Perkins, and it stars Maika Monroe as Agent Lee Harker, Nicolas Cage as Longlegs, Blair Underwood as Agent Carter, and Alicia Witt as Ruth Harker.
Very good, yes. Oh,
yeah, there we go.
Well, we're not going to get into spoiler territory yet, but we're going to talk about what we thought of this movie.
Yes.
And of course, you know what I thought of the movie, but I'll get into it in a second. Andrew,
yes,
your first time seeing this movie, finally.
Yeah.
What did you think of Longlegs?
I actually really liked Longlegs. But
Why do you put me in suspense?
I don't know. It's fun. Builds the tension. No, I liked it, but I have a major quibble, which we will discuss. So
I can't wait to discuss that quibble.
Yeah.
I think it's also the first time we've used the word quibble in a while, which I love.
Yeah, let's bring it back.
Bringing it back.
And you, let the people know.
I really liked Longlegs. I had one minor quibble. My quibble was minor, and it's kind of there. After watching it a second time, I liked the movie even more, even though I still give it the same rating. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. And after seeing it a second time, it's still 4.5, but it's getting closer to a 5. I love this movie. It's one of the movies, or let me say one of the many movies that is making it kind of hard for me to pick a favorite horror movie of this year.
Nice. Awesome.
So that said, now we are going to get into spoiler territory. So everybody out there, if you have not seen Longlegs, we are about to spoil the entire movie.
Yes.
But you can live in the happiness that we both liked it quite a bit, it seems like, with a quibble. We both have a quibble.
Yep.
But before that, here we go, buddy.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Now that we've proven in person that I don't cheat when I roll the virtual 20-sided die.
And I always wondered. No, I never wondered.
No, you never wondered.
I never wondered.
I am going to start rolling this, and then you're going to tell me when to stop. And if it lands on an odd number, you're going to do it. If it lands on even, I'm doing it.
All right, stop.
It is a 1. You're finally doing the 3-minute recap.
It's been a while. Oh, man. Okay.
Okay, and I just wanted to let you know that I called Nicolas Cage.
Lucky?
He started to sing a lot of T-Rex music to me. And as his voice rose, he kept saying, Andrew is my favorite. So you're his favorite.
Wow, that was actually pretty good, buddy.
There you go.
That was good.
You get my Longlegs impression. There you go.
Thank you. I know part of me is like, we usually don't discuss which sound bites you're going to do, but man, when he talks and sings, I'm like, I don't know if we're allowed to because it's a song, but I don't know.
Oh, it's getting used, and I'm pretty sure that,
good.
But
good.
The song I'm going to use, I'm pretty sure is public domain. So
okay. Because we'll talk.
Anyway, you're Nicolas Cage's favorite.
Yay.
So go into the 3-minute recap with that knowledge.
Oh boy.
But I will be calling him. If you go in over 3 minutes, I'm going to call Nicholas or Nick. And I'm going to say, Nick, he didn't do it. So
that sounds right.
Good luck, buddy.
Oh, man. Oh gosh. I can't let Nicolas Cage down. All right, here we go. Oh boy, this one's gonna be interesting. Again, we do not practice this, everybody. So here we go.
We do not practice at all.
I'm gonna give you plenty of details about the first scene, and then I'm going to rush the rest. So,
yay!
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
The opening scene starts with a little girl outside of her house. She sees a station wagon, and then we see Nicolas Cage's character, Longlegs, and the camera's not quite showing his face. And he begins talking to the girl, and he says, "Oh, I put on my long legs today," and then ducks down, and the camera cuts off. We jump into the movie. It's a number of years later, that little girl, which I knew right away. I'm not sure if it was we were supposed to, but I knew that the main girl in this was the little girl from the beginning. Spoiler, I guess we'll say. But Maika, Agent Lee Harker, she's now in the academy as an agent, an FBI agent, and she's out on patrol with one of her colleagues, and she goes to a house, and she looks at the house and realizes with some kind of maybe ESP or something that the killer is in this house, whoever they're looking for. Her partner doesn't believe her, goes up, knocks on the door, and gets immediately shot in the head. She goes in and arrests the person. The director of the FBI, Agent Carter, or her boss, I should say, knows that she has kind of some kind of ESP, telepathy, whatever, and they go with it. And has her now on this assignment looking for Longlegs. Longlegs is a killer that has been killing for a number of years and is able to kill in a house with families without actually stepping foot in this house. And they're trying to figure out how this is possible. Every one of them has a daughter that was born on the 14th of the month, that they're killed in, and that's all I remember of that part. So we'll jump ahead. Then, of course, it's again, she's trying to figure things out. She's kind of different when she talks to people. She's very quick and doesn't answer maybe the way a lot of people would. Eventually, we find out that Longlegs is leaving these clues with his own code, which she cracks the code at her house by herself after we see that Longlegs has come into her house and then snuck out. So she uses that to figure out a lot of this information about the 14th and how he's killing, well, not how, but a bit of how he's doing what he's doing. Eventually, we come to find out, oh man, I'm trying to remember what happens next. They are looking at a place, she cracks the code to find out that one of the first places he killed, there's a clue there. So they go there and they find the clue in this barn. They lift up some of the boards on the floor and they find a doll. A kind of realistic human doll. And inside that doll's head, when they go bring it to, I guess, the person that does like autopsies and stuff, but they go there and they find this ball inside the head, this metal ball. After that, we find out that the girl that was kind of part of this first initial killing, the little girl she wasn't there that day, the initial first killing by Longlegs, she's been in an insane asylum and hasn't been able to talk until they found the doll. All of a sudden, she is now able to talk. They go and visit with her to find out if they can figure out who Longlegs is. She's a bit off and says that essentially the killer Longlegs came and visited her and that she loves him and would do anything for him, even kill the agents if she needed to. A couple days pass and she actually ends up taking her own life. She jumps off a building. We find out, though, through a number of things. Let me try and remember how I'm trying to remember, man. She eventually, Agent Harker, has been getting calls from her mom a few times, and I forget how she figures it out, but she realizes that at the beginning of the movie, as we mentioned, that Longlegs was there with her as a kid. I can't remember how she figures it out. We'll talk about that. But she goes to her house to talk to her mom about it, and her mom doesn't have any memory, wink, wink, about it. And she goes and looks in some of her old stuff and finds a picture that she actually took that day of Longlegs, so they know what Longlegs looks like. From there, they go and find Longlegs and arrest him. He talks, he's being interrogated, I guess, by Agent Harker, who, after they discuss all sorts of things, he essentially bashes his head in on the desk and kills himself. And we find out that he is a strong Satan supporter. We then eventually know that he has an accomplice, that he's been working with someone. Harker figures it out that it was her mom the whole time. So she goes to confront her mom about it with a partner. The partner gets killed by the mom, and Harker's mom has a doll of Harker out there, and she shoots the doll in the head, and all of a sudden Harker is acting a lot different. Like, she's able to communicate a little better, and we actually see smoke leave her head after the doll is shot. It's pretty cool. And then we find out that kind of the whole thing that's going on, which is Longlegs was going to kill Harker when she was little. Her mom said that, please don't do that. I will help you with whatever. Just don't hurt my baby. And becomes an accomplice. This ball that's in their head is essentially some kind of power by the devil. And that's how it's used to control these kids, essentially. And it brings in some kind of darkness in the house so that the dad, I believe, in each of the houses actually ends up killing everyone in the house. A very kind of Amityville horror, if you will. Eventually, her police chief has a daughter that's going to have a birthday on the 14th. She realizes that they're next, so she goes over there, and her mom's already there with this doll. Eventually, the police chief kills his wife, comes out. Harker shoots her mom in the head, kills her, and then shoots the police captain, and they leave, the daughter and Harker, I think. No,
They don't leave.
They don't leave. What happens? Help me out.
We're going to talk about the ending.
All right. I can't remember, but that's sort of the end. But we'll talk about what happens.
That's
I'm
sort of
totally
the
drawn
end.
a blank.
Well, the great thing is that you came in just under 3 minutes.
Oh, good.
So you're still Nick Cage's favorite.
Yes. Wow. What an honor. What an honor.
Yeah. So I think you got most of it. You got most of what the movie is. I mean, honestly, it took me one viewing and then a lot of research.
Okay.
And then the second viewing, which was just last night, I think I understood it a lot more.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So So let's kind of get into this with.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you my little quibble first because I have a
Yes.
feeling it's not nearly as big as yours.
Okay.
So I love this movie.
Mhm.
My tiniest quibble, and again, it kind of went away last night when I watched it again, but during the interrogation, well, let me start over. Nicolas Cage is fantastic.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I loved him as Cobble or Longlegs.
Right.
But during the interrogation, most of the time I would see, Longlegs. I would see Cobble. But this one moment, I just saw Nicolas Cage, and it's a minor quibble because I still thought Nicolas Cage was amazing. But it's like what's your choice in a movie like this? Do you get somebody like Nicolas Cage who can just kill this part?
Right.
And then you risk the fact that people are going to see Nicolas Cage instead of this character. Or do you get somebody who's a relative unknown who can also kill the part, but people don't know? I mean, who knows? But
I get you. I totally get it. Yeah.
Did you feel that way at all?
No, no, I don't think so. Like I was watching it and yeah, it's Nicolas Cage, but you can tell that he's having a blast with the character.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like, I don't know, it didn't, like I knew it was Nick Cage, but it was also not Nick Cage, and I was fine with that. He was having so much fun with it, and I loved it. I loved the character. The character was wild. Oh my gosh, I loved Longlegs.
That's awesome. I love
yeah,
that.
so, yeah. Oh.
Like I said, I definitely saw it less this second time watching it, but, it was just
good.
I just wanted to bring that up a little bit. It's tiny, minor quibble.
Right. No, I get it.
So what's your big one?
Okay, so, and this is one of those things where I almost wish I had known going into it, because I think it would not have bugged me as much. But a lot of times, this movie sets it up, and it's set up so beautifully, and I'm sitting there thinking, this is very much Silence of the Lambs. This is very much Seven. It gives off these feels where I'm like, the detective obviously chasing the killer, but in a very dark and brooding and kind of wonderful way. Those movies, though, kind of have a grounded, I guess, conclusion, and this one didn't, for me. And again, had I known that going in, I think I would have felt differently, and I think if I watch it a second time, I will feel differently knowing that. But while watching it, I was kind of expecting, how is this character doing it? How is this character getting in there? There's got to be trapdoors. There's got to be something that I didn't see. And then they say it's, essentially like witchcraft, Satan.
The devil.
The devil. Yeah, using magic. And I was like, oh, okay. I was almost wanting a better explanation. I felt like it was, and it's not because it was written this way, but I almost felt like, oh, what a cop-out. We had all this build-up and then it was magic. It's like, oh, okay. It's like when people use aliens. It's the same thing. We have all this buildup. Oh, it was aliens that did it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I want that writer to come up with a really cool thing where you're like, whoa. That being said, again, now that I know that, I think I would enjoy that reveal more. I just think I was caught off guard and I went, oh, I was really expecting some really big payoff and it was magic.
I think you'll like it more the second time, too.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, what you were just saying is a common criticism of Longlegs. I think a lot of people are taken aback by just the blatant supernatural aspect to the movie.
Right.
A lot of movies like this, like you said, they either give a grounded reason or they leave it slightly ambiguous. Is it the devil? Right. Is it not? What's going on here? But this movie... I actually appreciated that about this movie, that Perkins was like, nope, this is the devil. I'm not going to give you any question as to whether it is or isn't. This is a man working with the devil, and there you have it.
Right. All right. Which, and again, like you said, and like I said, I really do think I'll appreciate it now, knowing, because I watch movies one of my favorites, as we know, is The Conjuring, which is, demonic and stuff, which... Yeah. Now that I know it, I will enjoy it more. But it definitely did catch me off guard where I was like, wait, what? Oh, shoot.
Now, I sent you a link this morning, and you said that you had already looked up videos. Did you catch the hidden devil in different shots?
I only caught one. So because I looked this up and saw kind of something of all the references or whatever, and I was like, what? There's more?
Yeah. I still don't think I've seen them all.
Oh, right on. Okay.
There's a couple of obvious ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's the part where I believe she's at the FBI building, and she hears like a knock on the window, and you see like the image of the devil disappearing into the mist.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah,
That one's kind of an obvious one. And then there's a shot later of her, and the devil is behind her. There's a huge devil thing behind her that also disappears.
See, maybe it was two then I saw, or maybe more, but really one stuck out. But there was definitely a lot on that list where I was like, "Why I did not even catch that?"
Do you remember the one that stuck out?
For sure. It was the very last one when
Which
they closed
was?
the door.
You caught that?
I caught that. Yeah, I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute." Yeah. That was a good
Did you
one.
rewind and play it again?
I did. Yeah, and paused it.
Awesome. I did not catch that the first time,
Oh, nice. Okay.
but I
Awesome.
totally caught it last time. I didn't look at the article in between viewings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went into my second viewing. I was like, you know what? I don't want to know where they are. I'm going to try and find them.
Nice.
And man, I got to tell you something, buddy.
Yeah.
So one other criticism people have of this movie is that while the marketing of Longlegs was pretty brilliant,
Yeah.
it got the hype up for this movie so hard.
Yes.
But one of the things that they hyped up, which always bugs me, is like, it's the scariest movie of the year.
Yep.
And I ignored that. I listened to my
Good.
friends who were like, yes, this movie's so good. And I was like, that's what got me hyped, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But the first time I saw the movie, there was some suspense.
Right.
I felt tension.
Mm-hmm.
I spelt it too.
You did?
I felt tension. But let me tell you, last night, looking for the hidden devil and knowing for a fact that this movie was about the devil making these families do this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the movie kind of freaked me out, dude.
Yeah, dude. Awesome.
It totally freaked me out. There is a part that is creepy even without the devil, but there's a scene near the beginning after she gets the case where she's sitting on the floor and she has everything laid out.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's the night that she falls asleep at the precinct.
Right.
But there is a moment where she's sitting there, and I looked over her shoulder, and in the back of the room is this dark image of the devil. And then the way it disappears, that's what freaks me out, dude.
Yep.
It's not like the ghosts in Hill House where they're just there and then the camera moves away from them. Every single time, I think, except for that reflection that you talked about.
Right.
A lot of times the devil is there and then it disappears into the darkness.
Yes. Yep.
Oh my God. There was another moment where it did that too. I started to realize I don't know all of it. I'm so excited. I don't know all of the appearances, but the ones I saw, there was also a sound effect like this, like a deep bass noise. And man,
awesome. The one I really wish I had caught, besides that one, because I saw that afterward, and I was like, oh, creepy. That and I don't know, because I was focused on something else, was when she's at her like house in the woods, and she looks out and sees the image of a person standing kind of in the fog.
Yeah.
Had I looked up, I would have seen the devil standing behind that person.
Wait.
Yeah, dude. I didn't catch that. But it's like, it's pretty clear. Like, it's there. It is there. And I'm so focused on the person going, oh, who's that? But if I looked up an inch, you'd see the devil standing there. I was like, oh.
So full transparency, everybody out there. Andrew and I watched this movie last night in our respective homes. And then we had time to record today, and it's going to be busy the next week for both of us. So we were like, let's record today. I haven't had a chance to watch this like a second time for the podcast. And I was planning on looking up all the devil appearances and then watching. So I'm excited that there's still a bunch that I may not have noticed. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that was the big one. I can't remember the other ones except what you said and then the door. But that was the one where I was like, oh, that's a good one. Because it's menacing. It's pretty menacing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So let's talk about, because I'm going to talk about Oz Perkins and the way he directs movies. But before, I think I want to get into like the story of this and deciphering exactly what was going on.
Okay.
Because there's some things that they hit you over the head with.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I noticed them the first time. For instance, when she's first figuring out the cipher, which is actually not, it was kind of a easy cipher as far as ciphers go, but it also kind of makes sense for Longlegs to have like, an old highlights magazine symbol replacement. But I liked how she deciphered the S's, and they were the symbol for the S's is a 6, and she circled 3 of them, so it's 666.
Yep. I did catch that. Yeah.
But let's go over this. So I think you get most of it. So
yeah, help me out, because I'm sure I missed something.
Well, the one thing, believe it or not, because I'm a little bit stupid.
No.
A little bit.
No.
The first time I saw this movie, I saw it with our buddy JD.
Nice. Okay.
And JD was the one that pointed out, like, I don't know how I missed this, but he pointed out that Longlegs was in their basement the entire time.
Oh, right. Yes.
You got that, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, eventually. I mean, when they kind of start talking more about...
At the end of the movie, yeah. So that's the thing. She sees Longlegs, but after that, it's not that he wanted to kill her. I don't know exactly what was going to happen to her, but the devil wanted her.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I don't know if the devil would have possessed her.
Right.
Or what. So basically the story is that Longlegs came along. I don't know if he was hiding in their basement before this moment.
Right.
But he came along. The devil wanted this little girl, but the mother had a choice to either let the devil have Lee or to start taking these families for the devil.
Right.
And the way that happens is that she shows up at their house with this realistic doll that you mentioned.
Which are great, by the way.
Oh my God, they're so creepy.
Good. Oh my gosh.
Agree 100%.
Yes. Yeah.
Longlegs makes these dolls, and he somehow imbues Satan, the devil, into these silver balls that he puts in the dolls' heads. And these dolls carry the devil into these houses, and the devil gains access to this family and kills the entire family.
Right.
Like you said, using the dad as the person that usually kills everybody and then kills himself. Lee Harker's birthday is on the 14th. So all of these families, I guess because the devil couldn't have Lee, the devil wants the youngest daughter of all these families who also has a birthday on the 14th. And has been doing this sporadically throughout all these years, right?
Right. Yeah, that's what I got.
So then Longlegs also built a doll that was in the image of Lee. And through this doll was able to make Lee forget things. Like she just forgot everything. She didn't know what was going on. If she had seen anything, she forgot it completely.
Right.
She kind of forgot Longlegs himself.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But then when she goes to her mom's house at the end with the FBI agent and her mom shoots the FBI agent, Lee goes out back to find her mom pointing a rifle at the little doll's head. And then after a couple of dialogue moments, the mom shoots the doll in the head, which basically releases the hold that the devil has on Lee.
Right.
We don't see it specifically, but my guess is it seems like Lee then remembers.
Yeah, that's what I got too. That's what I got. Yeah.
Now, I'm glad you liked the little bit of black smoke coming off of Lee's head.
I did. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I did too. Some people did not, but
I liked it.
Some people thought it was a little bit too blatant. So
I liked it. Yeah, I was like, that's a cool moment, and it just, I was totally on board.
Now, the creepiest thing is that, so she goes to this house at the end of the movie. Oh, it's so sad because her mom Her mom goes to
Right.
these houses with this doll, and she acts like a nurse or
A nun.
a nun, right? Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, because she goes from the church. They won an award from the church or something like that is what she's saying.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
this doll.
Mm-hmm.
And the doll possesses the family. So Lee goes to Agent Carter's house. Agent Carter? Really? Is that his name?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is Agent Carter. I know. I thought that too. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, Agent Carter.
Agent Carter. Scotty, the MCU fanboy, is coming out. Anyway.
Yep.
Agent Carter's house. Her mom is sitting on the couch, and there is a doll that looks like Agent Carter's daughter, Ruby. So her mom is doing this to keep the devil from taking Lee, right?
Right. Yeah.
After Agent Carter kills his wife in the kitchen, we don't see it happen, but after he kills his wife, he comes out, Lee shoots him, and then her mom, what does her mom pull out? She pulls out a knife or something? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
This is
I'm
the one
totally
thing I
drawing a
don't remember.
blank. Yeah.
But whatever she
Yeah.
pulls out, she ends up shooting her mom in the head.
Right.
And then she picks up Ruby to take her away.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I don't
she
know why I'm
pulls it-
blanking.
She pulls a gun out. She points it at the doll because she has to shoot the doll in the head to release the
Right.
devil's hold on Ruby.
Right.
But then her gun
That's
is empty.
right.
Has
That's
no
right.
bullets. So the end is her sitting there holding Ruby and looking at the doll. And knowing what's going on, the second time I saw this movie, I could see the look coming over Lee's face. It's very subtle, but it seems like the devil takes hold of Lee at the end.
Oof. Dark.
It is dark. So this is a movie in which the devil wins.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know why I forgot that. It wasn't like I took a week to watch it.
It's not that you
Why?
forgot it. There's a lot to this movie.
Right.
At least to me there was, and to you as well.
Yeah.
It takes
No,
a
for
lot to
sure.
absorb it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Whew. It's good though. Like it really, and that's the thing is, even though I had my quibble, like I really enjoyed this movie. I was hooked from the very first scene. I mean, from everything on, I was invested.
Yeah.
And so even though that quibble happened, throughout it, I still liked it. Like it's just a really well-made movie. It's very good and very suspenseful. So I really enjoyed it.
yeah, and one of the best things about this movie is the cinematography.
I was going to say that too.
His name is Andres Arochi,
Okay.
and he hasn't done anything huge from what I could see, but holy crap, he was excellent.
Dude, right, honestly, I think that was almost part of why I was hooked right away. Is some of those shots just at the beginning in the snow, I was like, oh, this is pretty. Like, this is a very well shot movie. And a lot of those shots, I mean, like in the red room when she's doing all the investigate, like it's just, yeah, fantastic.
One thing I'll say as a colorist
Yeah.
that I really appreciated. So when I'm doing color correction, when a person is doing color correction, if you play through a scene and it's got a very bright primary color and you go to the next scene, you have to give your eyes a second to adjust because you might see colors in the next scene differently because of the color of the previous scene, right?
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
And
Very
I
cool.
loved at the beginning of this movie how they played with that, with the color correction. You started off in this really dark red room like you talked about, but then the next scene that you see is like this bluish color, but the beginning of the scene, your eyes are so affected by the red that you just saw in the previous scene that it takes your eyes a second to adjust, and it's just such a cool effect.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. I love that.
Yeah, they actually like played with the audience's perception in a way, their color perception. So
That's so cool. That's so cool.
I really
love
like
it.
that. Yeah. One thing I'll say that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So last week, our episode was my interview with Justin Beam.
Yeah.
And we talked about, to an extent, Gretel and Hansel, which is Oz Perkins' last movie before this one.
Oh, nice. Okay. Very cool.
Now, the cool thing is that Justin and I didn't really get into the opinions of the movie. We both love Gretel and Hansel. We both really like that movie.
Nice.
But we didn't get too far into that. We didn't deep dive into what we feel about different aspects of the movie like you and I are doing.
Right.
Because obviously one of my goals talking to Justin was to talk about the bonus features that he created for Gretel and Hansel, which is what we did talk about mostly.
Nice.
So we could potentially do Gretel and Hansel, you and me.
Okay.
I think you would appreciate Gretel and Hansel even more after seeing what Oz Perkins has done in this movie.
Cool. Okay. That's awesome.
He's very, very deliberate with how he frames everything in a scene. He seems to be very attracted to geometric shapes, especially triangles.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a lot of triangles in this. There's a lot of triangles in Gretel and Hansel.
Cool. Okay.
Now, admittedly, he's done a couple of movies before Gretel and Hansel. One is The Black Coat's Daughter, and the other one is called I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House.
I've heard of that one, actually. I've heard of it.
Okay, I've heard of both, but I haven't seen either.
Okay.
And now I want to really go back and watch those two because I'm becoming a huge Oz fan.
Yeah. Well, gosh, man. If it's anything like this, I'll take a look.
How was your reaction when the FBI agent at the beginning went to the door of the house and just got shot?
I actually thought that was going to happen.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah. So, because, I mean, she gives, like, he's in that house. And, of course, we get the other cop that's like, well, we can't call it in on a hunch. So, and I'm like, oh, he's dead. Like, that was my first thought was, oh, he's dead. And then, I mean, it was so abrupt, though. It was so quick. It was so good, that shot. But I knew he was going to die. I didn't know if necessarily he was going to die, like, right away, but I knew he was going to die pretty quick in that scene. But the fact that they shot him right then and there was a great opening, man.
It was so awesome. Some people complain that Lee went into the house without calling for backup.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well,
the first time I saw it, I had that thought. I'm like, wait, why are you going in that house?
Yeah.
But everything turned out okay for her in a way, in a manner of speaking. So I wasn't that mad. And here's the thing. I kept thinking that guy that was in the house, that there was a connection between him and Longlegs. But I don't think there is now, right?
Not that I caught. And I actually, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, she's going to catch Longlegs like right away. And this is going to be, but it was just some other killer.
Yeah. And so I think it was her ESP.
Right.
The way she was able to see the guy in the house that led them to put her on the Longlegs case.
You know what? I'm gonna jump back just for a second too.
Please.
With people that didn't like that she went in there. It was her first week. She's not thinking clearly. She's new to this, so you know what? She can go in there. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, people. Go to heck.
You meanies.
Yeah. There we are.
There we are.
Being nice.
Yeah.
Being wholesome.
That's right.
Go to heck, you damn people. Darn people. Oh, I said damn. Oops.
Whoa. Explicit much?
Oh. Gonna have to check that mark on this episode.
Yep. Oofta.
He said damn. Yeah. Another thing I loved was the different aspect ratios of the scenes. Whenever it was in the past, it was like a 4:3 looking ratio.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only did the aspect ratio change when it got to the present, but most of the time, I love the way the aspect ratio would just gradually stretch out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like you just see more and more of the picture until you were looking at the whole 2:3:5 or whatever aspect ratio it was.
It was cool. No, I loved that. I was like, that's a nice way to not only show you it's in the past, but also it's really pretty to see like those two. Yeah, I loved it.
What did you think about the dead parents in the bed with the maggots?
Dude. Okay. Oh, so I have a question for you too. That we'll get into it in a sec, but yes, that was disgusting. Also, I was like, they're still pretty fresh. I felt like, even though with the maggots, I was like, after a month, I don't know.
They were pretty decomposed.
I mean, they were gross. But I will say, okay, there's a cat there though in its carrier. So clearly that cat's been there for like a month, right? Like that, I did catch that, right? Like that cat was their cat, so that cat's been in there for a month. Yikes, dude.
Yeah. What do you think it's been eating?
Well, I mean, it's been the cage.
No, they put it in the cage. I'm pretty sure they put it in the cage. I don't think the cat's been in the carrier. It wouldn't survive.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, okay, help me out. Okay, so, ew, gross. That's worse. Oh, gross.
Yeah, that cat's probably been eating people.
Ooh.
That's something I heard. As much as I love cats, I heard that if you die and nobody finds your body right away and you have a cat, that cat's going to eat you.
That's true.
Because it needs to eat. And, as much as it loves you, it's going to love your flesh, buddy. I love cats.
No. I know. And they'll love to eat you. So,
Yes.
It's...
Bowie, Ziggy, I give you permission to eat my flesh if I die and you're left here for days without people discovering me.
Aw.
Yeah. It's like
You're
Alive,
romantic.
the movie.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. Yes, it is. Like
Yeah. I give you permission.
Yep.
Andrew.
Yeah.
If you and I ever crash in a plane in the Alps
Yeah.
and you need to eat my flesh to survive, I
Oh.
give you permission, buddy.
You know what? I'll give you permission to. At that point, do what you got to do, buddy.
I'm starting
Do
with
what you
those
gotta
cute
do.
cheeks of yours.
You stop it. Which ones?
The ones I can see right now, which
So
are
my
not
butt.
on your face. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there we go. We're on the same page.
We are on the same page.
Ugh.
I got a little tidbit for you, a little behind the
Okay.
scenes, which I don't have
Ooh.
much of because there's no bonus features on my copy.
I have one too. But I want to hear yours.
Is it the crew member that's in the scene that you can see?
Oh, no. No. What?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah. So, near the end of the movie,
no. Okay.
when Lee and the FBI agent lady, I forget her name. Let me look that up real quick.
The one
'Cause
that gets shot by the mom.
Yeah, I hate to just
Okay.
call her.
Right.
Yeah, Michelle Choi Lee played Agent Browning.
Okay.
So when Agent Browning and Lee go to her mom's house, as they're driving into the driveway, they pass a little shed on the right. And for a quick moment, you can see a cameraman hidden behind the wall. And
Oh, shoot.
and it's been shown online. People have found it and posted that online. So I'm surprised they didn't blur it out for the home video release.
Yeah, you would think. Oh, that's a bummer. I got to look it up, though.
Yeah. Oz, if you're listening, we still love the movie. It does not detract. It's like a cute gotcha. It's like Sean Astin saying Josh in the Goonies instead of Brand.
And
But
maybe
yeah.
that's why he did it,
Yeah,
just
maybe it's on purpose. Maybe
on
that's a
purpose.
character in the movie and not a cameraman.
Maybe that's the devil pretending to be a cameraman,
Dude, that's
always
scary.
watching and recording her.
That's scary, dude.
There we go. You're welcome, Oz. You're welcome.
Did you watch this with your wife?
No, I did not.
Oh,
I know.
by yourself
Not. I did.
in the dark?
No, but
No.
it was
No.
still no, but it was still effective. This movie it's got a lot of suspense. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, then we'll get to that when we get to 3 questions. But
Mhm.
it's not super noticeable. But did you notice any music besides the T-Rex songs?
No, but I did notice that some of the sounds or whatever was happening did help with the ominous feel, which I'm all about that. So that feeling anyway. And so, but nothing really, besides T-Rex stood out, I guess, to me too much.
Yeah, the composer's name is Zilgi or Zilgi.
Cool.
His actual name is Elvis Perkins. So that sounds like he's related to Osgood.
Ah, that would make sense.
Interesting. But yeah, he goes by the name Zilgi or Zilgi.
Cool.
Yeah, he's brothers. He's Osgood Perkins' brother.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Well, cool.
The more you know. So yeah, I will say that I like this score. It's not one that you hum later on.
Right.
But I did listen to this soundtrack shortly after seeing the movie for the first time, and I really enjoyed listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I really liked about it is, I saw this movie in a theater, and I think the next week I put on the soundtrack, and I think the soundtrack actually, or the score, made me appreciate this movie even more than I already did.
Nice. Okay. That's cool.
I remember sitting there listening to the score at work. I was immediately put back in that theater and in the mood of the movie, and I started to realize, wow, I like this movie more than I thought I did.
Cool. All right. Well, then it did its job. That's pretty cool.
Good job, Zilgi.
Yeah, Zilgi.
Yeah, Zilgi. Oh. What else you got? You got anything else?
So yeah, one thing it's behind the scenes, but also it may have been kind of what you were touching on with how they promoted this movie.
Mm.
And did you watch at all? Because I know you don't watch trailers, but did you watch the scene where Maika first? Well, I'm just gonna say it then. Okay, so to promote this movie, one of the things they did, I thought maybe we were talking about this. They showed that Maika, for the first time seeing Nicolas Cage in character, they put that heart monitor on her to see, if she was freaked out, and it like doubled. I mean, it went crazy when she walked in the room and saw Nicolas Cage for the first time, and I was like, and of course in the scene they block out Nicolas Cage's face because that's a reveal for the movie later. But I was like, that's pretty cool because I watched that moment and I was like, well, now I gotta see what Nick Cage looks like. I gotta see. Like, I'm pretty curious. But I thought that was cool, and I like that I was like, that's smart. They got me.
That is smart. Yeah, I did hear about that. I totally forgot, though. Thank you for reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking cool.
Yeah, because like you said, even though there was maybe a couple moments with his makeup, he did look really creepy in this. I mean, they did a good job. He looks, and of course, he's playing a very interesting character, which adds to it. But the makeup, it's pretty great.
We haven't really talked about Nicolas Cage that much, but
no,
like you actually mentioned already, but I just want to emphasize this. I love the way that they frame him at the beginning, where you don't see his face, and I love the way they cut away from him a lot of times right as his voice is reaching this high pitch. Yeah, and it just builds, and then they just cut away from him. It's like, oh, it's so effective.
Yeah. And I love that isn't how he just the movie Longlegs. I love that that's how we first get introduced to it. Oh, I put on my long legs today, and then ducks down to be at eye level with this girl and cuts. I was like, ooh, creepy.
I'm gonna cut this out, but I'll be honest, buddy. I did not catch that.
Oh, right on.
That he was saying I put on my long legs because he's taller than her.
Right. Okay. I like
wow.
That. Oh, thank you. Look at this. My wife just brought in, she made pumpkin chocolate chip cookies.
Awesome. Oh, hi, Cindy. Oh, look how adorable she is.
I know. Isn't she cute with her little haircut? Thank you, babe.
No, you're supposed to say she's my wife.
Oh, she's my wife, you son of a bitch.
All right, back to it. Yeah. And also the way he moves his hands. Just the weird hand movements he makes.
Yes.
Now, I do need to do some more research into T-Rex because obviously this is a character who kind of worships T-Rex.
Totally. Very much so.
And I've listened to T-Rex. I know some of T-Rex's music, but I need to see some videos of his performances and see if like Nick Cage was channeling some of T-Rex's performances and stuff.
That's cool.
I also love the hardware store scene.
Oh my gosh, me too. It was awesome.
That girl.
Amazing. That creepy, what did she say? Like, that creepy guy is here again.
Yeah, that weird guy is here again, Dad.
Like, I love it.
Such a great scene.
It is great. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Damn. So, I love this. I can't wait for you to watch this again because I really do think you're going to like it more.
I think I will too. And I will say Nick Cage is in it for what, like 15 minutes. I mean, really, if that. I mean, he's not in it long, But man, it's worth it just to watch this character. Like, I mean, the whole thing. I'd want to watch this again just to see him, you know, as well as the movie. But he's just so fun in this. So yeah,
Are you ready for 3 questions?
let's do it.
Who would cross the bridge of death must answer me these questions 3.
Question number 1, my friend.
Yeah.
Ooh, what did you think was the best kill or death in this movie?
There's a few, but I think my favorite was actually Longlegs taking his own life in the
Wow.
interrogation, because it was just, I was not expecting that. And the fact that after he's smashed his head a few times, like his nose is like off as well.
Yeah.
Like it was brutal.
And I got this feeling watching it a second time. Now, this is not my favorite. I'm going to pick a different one. But I got the feeling watching this one that the devil was partly doing it as well.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Because it's got to be kind of hard to kill yourself by slamming your face into a desk like that. So
I would think.
I would buy it a lot more if there was like a supernatural demonic force actually just helping you do it until you die.
Yeah. Yep.
But no, I'm going to go with it's not, I don't like it. I don't like that she died, but
oh no.
The one that was the most effective for me was, and I don't know which family it was, if it was the camera family. Oh my God, we didn't talk about Kiernan and Shipka.
We didn't.
We got it. Okay, we'll get back to this kill, but holy crap, she was so good.
She's already someone that's been on everyone's radar. She's so good at everything she does. And she, again, like Nicolas Cage, has a very small part in this, like 5 minutes, if that, but absolutely nails this character. Nails it.
It's a character who has been in a trance for a very long time after doing what Longlegs or the devil told her to do.
Right.
And then she's got this weird way of speaking, but then as you listen to Nicolas Cage talk, you understand that she's talking like him.
Yes.
So there's a lot of like unanswered questions with that relationship. True. But man, she was so good.
I know. I loved her dialogue. Like I loved how she used, I can't even repeat it because I can't remember how, it was just so interesting. It was such a like unique way to talk. And I just was like, what is happening? I love this.
You know what, buddy?
Yeah.
Don't you worry, because Daddy's going to use a soundbite from that scene.
Yes. Thank you, Daddy.
You're welcome. By Daddy, I do mean myself.
Oh, I know.
But back to the kill. So I can't remember if it is her parents in the kill, but it's the one where the priest is at the house, I think, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, the dad comes in and cuts him down with an axe. But then the mom comes up to what it's the camera, but it's basically her coming up to the doll and looking into the doll's eyes, and the dad comes up behind her. I don't know how they did it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is one of those behind the scenes moments of movie magic, because obviously this guy is not coming and embedding an axe in her back for real.
Right.
But that's what he's doing in the movie, and the way her body jolts forward with the impact of the axe, it's just so gruesome.
Yeah.
And it looks so real.
And the blood spatter.
Yeah. It reminded me, no spoilers, of some of the kills in Sinister.
Yeah. Okay.
In a way. Just very blunt and gruesome.
Yep.
Anyway, so I think that was the best kill or death in the movie.
That was great. No, I totally get that. Yep.
So now my next question, and this I was going to ask you this earlier, but I kind of saved it for this. Did you think Longlegs was scary? And I was going to specifically ask you earlier, did this movie creep you out at all watching it last night?
Yeah, I would say it's creepy. That would be the word. I'd say creepy and eerie. I wouldn't say for me I was like scared, but I was definitely on edge. I was like nervous. What's going to happen? What's coming from all this? I didn't lose sleep over it, but I definitely was on edge during this movie. So what about you?
Well, what about the scene where she's in her house for the first time and she sees the figure outside, she goes outside, and then you see Longlegs in the house? Like, did that scene freak you out at all?
That was a creepy scene. Yeah, that was. And oh, yes, one thing, yes, I have a note about this. I haven't been looking at my phone. Is there's so many shots in this movie where the background is visible, which, as you know, like, that freaks me out a bit because I'm sitting there waiting many times, especially that scene where we're zoomed in on her face and we see both like the kitchen and the living room or something, both plain as day behind her. And we know that Longlegs had just been in there. So I'm sitting there watching the background going, when is Longlegs going to show up? But never does. So that was very eerie and very suspenseful for me.
Absolutely.
Those shots.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's something I forgot to mention too. It's kind of a meta thing that Osgood did with the movie because he knows that as audiences, we're accustomed to eventually seeing something in the background when a shot is framed like that.
Right.
But it's also effective because it's scary as hell. Like, she has her back to this dark, open kitchen, and it's just like, what could be in there?
Yeah.
You're scared for her. Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. And I'm the same as you. Like I said last night, watching it, the movie creeped me out more than it did the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Also, probably because I was by myself in my apartment and looking for the devil in the darkness of the movie. So,
yeah.
But it did not give me nightmares. It didn't stay with me afterwards. You know, I'm not like looking in the dark recesses of my closet for the devil or anything like that. So, number 3, Andrew.
Yeah.
Did you have fun with horror?
I did. Yeah. Yeah, I really did. We've talked enough about my quibble, and really it's not a big thing now that I think about it. But it is, man, it is a fun movie. Like, this is a very unique, fun movie. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
And I think we know, but go ahead. Did you have fun with horror?
I had fun with horror.
I was just waiting on him to come and get me. To come and tells me something's to do for him. Or even better, to do something for the man down the stairs. And boy, I just want to do whatever so he says me to do. Like if he told me to take a jumpy out a window, I'd surely do. Just happy as peaches to watch the ground as it come up to meet me. Or if he told me to kill you right here in this room with my bare hand, I'd surely do. Just happy as peaches to watch your heavy heart go pop, pop, and your eyes is to go all to blood.
Buddy, something we didn't mention in the last section, we didn't even talk about Maika Monroe that much.
And we need to, because...
Yeah, we need to, because she was incredible.
Yeah. Yep, you took the words right out of my mouth. She's incredible in this.
I like taking words out of your mouth.
You can do it anytime, man. Go
it's
for it.
Such a pretty mouth.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Ooh.
Sorry, I blacked out.
Inspiration. But yeah, so she was in It Follows. And the funny thing is, you know, we did a movie called Watcher back in the day. In the early days of Fun with Horror.
Yeah, buddy.
When we did that movie, I had no idea that was the same actor from It Follows.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it was like sometime later, somebody was talking about Maika Monroe and her movies, and I was like, oh, Maika Monroe from Watcher. And I was like, oh my God, she was the girl in It Follows. She was so good.
Yeah. She's great. Again, someone that has been good in anything I've seen, which is fantastic. And I love that a couple movies, I mean, that she's done now, 3 that I would consider, you know, scary or horror or something. I mean, I love it. I hope we see more, man. I hope she does a zillion things because she's phenomenal.
Absolutely. But since we didn't mention her in the podcast, should we just record this whole thing again?
I would say that, and then we could also... Yeah, I would just say, let's just do the whole thing. Let's just do the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, so, hi, I'm Scotty.
And I'm Andrew.
and welcome to Fun with Horror, episode number 138.
What? 138?
We're the podcast that's about to pick our next movie.
There we go. All right, buddy. Obviously, we just discussed my movie, but at the beginning of this episode, you did not know what you were picking, so I'm so intrigued now because I have no clue what you're picking. Let us know, dude. What are we watching next?
Well, I just took a gander at the horror section of Apple TV, Apple Movies, and I'm going to pick another recent movie, but this one I have not seen.
Oh.
And you have not either, unless you have and just didn't tell me, which has happened in the past.
Yes.
We are going to watch the recent movie, Cuckoo.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's directed by Tillman Singer, and it stars Hunter Schafer, Jan Bluehart, Martin Kosokis, and other people. Dan Stevens is in this. Jessica Henwick is in this. Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Love Jessica Henwick.
Who doesn't?
I'm sure there's some people.
And Dan Stevens, though. That's great. Wow, what a cast. Okay.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to seeing this movie, actually, and I actually kind of totally forgot that it was out on home video, so...
Awesome.
I'm picking this.
Now, if I remember right, and we might cut this because I might be way off.
Whoa.
But the person that did this did Caveat?
No.
Is that right?
No, let's see. He has done a movie called Loose, and then a couple of short films.
Okay.
And I have not seen Lose. L-U-Z, Lose.
Oh, Lose. Oh, okay. I feel like I've seen that on something. I haven't watched it, but I've seen like the poster, a picture or something. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and that's fine. Damian McCarthy is the director of Caveat and the movie I just saw, Oddity.
Oh, that's the one. Okay, yes, that's right.
Which I also just blanked on when I was picking a movie, but as soon as I saw Cuckoo, I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to see it, so...
Very curious.
There we go.
This one, I've seen the poster, and I know people have talked, I've seen people talking about it, but I know zero. This is one I am going in knowing nothing about this movie. I have no idea what the story is. I'm excited.
Me neither. I kind of don't either. I really don't. I just know that I love Hunter Schafer from Euphoria, the TV show on Max. She's fantastic, and finding out Jessica Henwick is in it is just a huge bonus. She's so good in Iron Fist and Love and Monsters.
Nice.
And a bunch of other things. She's great.
She is great.
So that is episode 138.
Yay!
Everybody, thank you for listening to Fun with Horror.
Yes, thank you.
Huge thank you to our patrons.
Yes, thank you.
We've been kind of busy here on the main feed this month, so we promise we'll have something for you soon.
Yes.
Yeah, we've still got the Hill House series that we're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Colby Does Horror and I are going to do some Too Extreme for Andrew movies. Which may or may not be too extreme for Andrew. We don't know, but...
I'm excited to listen.
But also, everybody, have a happy Halloween if you don't hear from us again.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes. That's right. It's over. Happy Halloween.
Well, yeah, we might die in the next 2 days.
Well, at least your cats will have some food to eat for a little bit. So,
thank God. Bowie, Ziggy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lee Harker.
It goes on like that for a while.
For how long?
24 minutes.
All right, everyone out of here. Browning, Parker, you stay. Go, you guys go.